Hello.
Hey, whose idea was that?
Whoops.
Man, oh man.
All right, corrected. Hello, people of the YouTubes, I guess.
Yes.
Podcast watchers and listeners and Twitch and whoever else decides to tune in. We are back with a show.
We are. Hello, Mover.
I'll never promise a good one. Just that we're going to do one.
We've already started on the right foot.
Hey, we almost were late because we were reading the community notes on Chuck Norris, which, what a week, man.
Yeah, what a week. Yes.
Chuck Norris has passed.
He has, man. He's one of my heroes. He still is my hero, Chuck Norris. But
can you do a roundhouse kick?
When my knees were good, yeah, dude. I did.
Really?
I did several years of taekwondo as a kid, did some tournaments and stuff. So I can throw a kick, but not Chuck Norris style.
Would you ever become a Walker Texas Ranger?
I do not have this required skills, sir.
That you learned in the mountains?
I did like the show, though, when I was a kid. I mean, you know, pretty much I just waited the whole episode for Chuck Norris to whoop some butt.
Yeah, it got a little weird toward the end. When it got a little modern.
Yeah, the old ones are the best, dude.
Yeah.
And of course, his the legendary fight with him and Bruce Lee. Like, I rewatched that the other day. None like it.
Who do you root for?
He goes back and forth,
dude. I'm conflicted, right? I'm half. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
part of me wants Chuck Norris to win. The other half, I mean, Bruce Lee wins because it's a movie, but yeah.
Okay.
Very sad.
Yeah. Douglas, you're okay?
So far, so good.
Mover, how was your week? You can't remember what you did?
No, they all blend together. Nothing.
Now that you can stay in your home for weeks at a time without leaving, all the days it's like being on an aircraft carrier, man. You don't see the sun come up.
I don't know. It's always the same day. Unfortunately, sadly, though, today I'm wearing the shirt. Today is the first anniversary of Sergeant Grant Candy's. He was killed in the line of duty with St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Office. He was a sergeant with the 1st District. Was killed trying to deploy stop sticks, and the car swerved and hit him at high speed, and he left behind a wife and a daughter and a son. And we remember him today because it's not something that's going to heal. That was some of Luna's most important work, I think, when she's done everything. And all the things she's done, I think that was some of her most important work, was being there for the agency during that hard time.
Yeah, a tough day for his family, man.
I mean, and when you lose somebody, the hard part is not, I mean, it sucks immediately after, but it's harder when everybody moves on. Anniversaries are always tough, holidays, and then the 1-year anniversary of it happening is tough on them. So
yeah,
just tough. He was a Marine and a sergeant with the sheriff's office. And so, just tough time. I barely even realize today, like, it just sneaks up on you. You're like, wow, it's been a whole year. You remember where you were when you found out. And it's tough, but boy, it's been a rough day in aviation that we are going to cover.
It's been an eventful week, really.
Whew, I know.
Some claims, some stuff.
Yeah, F-35, F-15, Air Canada Express, the
FedEx in Alaska, right? Almost.
Yes.
Swapping paint.
It's been a rough time. So let's talk happy before we talk sad, just to ease into it, though.
Yeah.
I did some spring cleaning. That'll be our mental health minute if we get that far.
What treasures did you find?
I found a library card from 1990 something.
Do they still do actual library cards today, do you think?
I talked to somebody who actually borrows books from the library. I don't even in New Orleans, of all places. I don't know how. I was very confused.
You can borrow them onto your Kindle. I did that a bunch of times.
Mover, are you old enough to have experienced the card catalog?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We had one when he was in college.
Dewey Decimal System, man.
Okay. I'm just checking. I'm pretty sure they got rid of all that stuff now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, are you?
Yeah. Do you?
Can you read?
Can I what?
Do you? Were you here? Did you ever go to a library? Seems
Yeah,
like
dude.
inside the library beating up kids going inside.
Come here, nerd.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a wizzo one day.
Do you only know because that's where you would steal lunch money, or like how do you know about this
Give
library?
me your fine money, nerd.
Yeah.
No, dude, I stayed in one section, the A's for airplane. I just looked for all the aviation stuff when I was a kid. And everything else just
So
whatever.
here's a crazy fact. The library at the town that I was in an aviation museum.
Really?
Wow, you'd never leave, Gonky.
No, was it decorated?
The Glenn Curtis Museum.
Oh, wow.
Was adjacent. That was on the second floor. The library's on the first floor.
Yeah, I'd have never left. My parents would be like, he's so
That's pretty
studious now.
He's such a smart boy.
Just staring at airplane pictures.
Staring at airplanes.
Yeah. Also, they decorated it appropriately.
No, that's where the airplanes were. They were in the
Oh.
same building.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Nice,
Yeah.
man.
Well, cool. Gonky, are you okay? You're very clean shaven.
Yeah. I woke up this morning with quite an ear block. Something's still going around.
It's the petri dishes that you have in your home.
Man, my kids. Yeah. See, we had on Saturday, we had a little shindig over at my buddy's place, and like all the kids were there. And they were all, dude, like those little Capri Sun things. Like it was cowboy country. If there was one sitting there, kid walking by, you just pick it up, take a drink, put it right back down. There's like community, like little pouches of Capri Sun or whatever those things were. So
little pouches of bacteria.
yeah, dude, it's like, I don't know whose that is, but I've seen like 4 different kids drink from it. So, yeah, I think this is at that time of year too. The weather's starting to change, man. Like I don't know.
Pollen, no
Pollen.
rain, pollen, just pollen and no rain.
Yeah. So but
Well-
other than that, man, I'm dude, given what's going on in the world, I have no complaints.
You could not pay me enough to get into an airport.
Dude, the TSA thing, especially now, like blows my mind. Like this, what's going on? Like
It was already miserable. Like it wasn't a pleasant experience when it was working.
dude, you know, offline, like we were talking, and I'll say it again. The airline industry is the only industry where you pay good money to get treated like crap, dude. From start to finish, dude. 100%.
I see people standing at New Orleans because they talk about it every morning on the news. The line runs all the way into the garage, which is across the street. It's down the stairs. So TSA is on level 2. You have to go down the escalator, which do they stop the escalator? Like, how are you in line? Is somebody like at the bottom of the escalator?
That's your endurance training portion of your trip. You have to,
keep going backwards.
That's right, dude.
Like, I don't understand how that line works. But then you go all the way out into the garage. And then they were crying because some deputy was yelling at them. And it's like, yell at yourself for making bad life choices. Just drive.
Dude, I drive. I was in Orlando, last week. I drove. They offered me a plane ticket, but I drove. We go to Ohio all the time. I never fly. I drive. The whole experience. And now, like you said, with, what is the recommendation now? Show up the night before.
6 hours. It's the old Onion article where it's like, dad finally vindicated for telling everybody to show up 10 hours prior. Now it's legit.
Yeah. All joking aside, dude, I just think it's criminal that, our TSA agents, regular people just trying to make a living and doing a job are being held hostage by a government that just can't seem to get it together. I
don't understand it because I thought the idea was they wanted to defund ICE and then they didn't know that ICE was already funded through another bill. So like, are they just stupid? I should ask that question because that's actually true. Like they're not funding something that has nothing to do with their thesis statement. right? That they don't want to fund ICE because they don't like the idea of kicking out illegal immigrants from the country.
Right.
Got it. But what does TSA have to do with it?
Yeah, dude. I mean, the politics aside, is like, dude, listen, air travel is a huge part of our economy and the way we do business. And like, you just can't hold you can't hold civilians hostage over political stuff.
The funding of the government should never be at risk. Like,
yeah.
It's not like we stop paying taxes when they do this.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
We're paying for it. Do the thing. Like, what is the question?
Yeah.
Your pet projects, if you want to argue about that, that's fine. Your pork barrel spending, great. But the essential services, the military stuff that should already be funded,
dude.
Why are we arguing over what? No, that should never be in question.
It takes, like you said, dude, it takes a crappy experience anyways and just makes it ultra. I mean,
this would be a good time to privatize TSA and then make it actually do something and not, you know.
I'm shocked we haven't had
security
like fights in the lines, man.
Well, it's a security risk. I mean, look at the lines that go all the way to the parking garage. Yeah. You've bunched up that many people. It's like when we talk about at the gate, right? Yeah. You're like, dude, when the line is like this, you have bunched up all these people that are now a soft target.
No escape.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
This is stupid.
Yeah. I know.
Whatever.
I'm off my soapbox now.
I'm not flying. But then the airlines are in trouble, dude, because with oil over $100 a barrel and climbing, your buddy Scott Kirby came out with United and said, we have to prepare for the idea that it goes up to $170 a barrel. And we're going to cut some flights. And then we're going to cut, not people, though. He's not talking about furloughs, but he's talking about scaling back. He's still going to
mover.
They did really well with the pandemic. You know, when it was, they were the best positioned coming out of it, of the big three.
Yeah, it's not ideal though, man. I mean, it's like billions of dollars in losses, which not a fan of the company, but it affects regular people, and that's what sucks.
I don't mind the company. I mean, maybe whatever. All right. So from the audience, and then we'll get into the topics because we've got people watching us that probably want to see that. Crazy Pete says, one day in Iraq, the loadmaster on our crew said Superman wears Chuck Norris underoos, but Chuck Norris wears Crazy Pete underoos. Okay.
Yeah, I could see that.
Cool. Victor Franco says, remember the Time Life books on airplanes of the military?
Yeah.
No. Colonel Olds, thank you, sir. Mm-hmm. I'm here for my weekly intel brief, gentlemen, hoping for the deepest intels. Come to the wrong place.
Only the deepest here. Not deep intel.
Slightly above, slightly below. Actually, we're probably more realistic because actual intel is usually wrong. And that's us. Actually, we're like the public affairs version of intel.
That's
true. You may see a flanker, you may see an eagle. We don't know the difference.
It's an airplane. What matters?
I mean, what? Who cares? You know,
it flies and shoots, right?
Yeah, we still get paid, right? So it doesn't matter. That's fine. Thank you, though, Colonel Olds. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Pneumatic Elephant says public service announcement. Thank you, by the way. If you haven't purchased Project Virtus, it's a great book. It's over my shoulder right there. Please do. I agree with that. Mover grabs you by your feelings and drags across pages in a whirlwind of a thrill. If you think you figured the story out, no, you haven't. One thing I didn't like about the book, it ended.
Yes.
That's a great review. Put that on Amazon, please, and Goodreads and all places.
If you have kids, you can get some coloring books from Gonky.
That's one of the things I threw out this weekend in my spring cleaning. I'm just kidding. I still have it somewhere.
Next spring.
It went into a box.
Next spring, it's out of here.
Yeah. Warhorse says, I'm old enough to remember typing Boolean. Boolean? How do you say that, Doug? Boolean searches into the computers of the Air War College Library, Air University Library. First of all, nerd.
Yeah.
Air War College.
Yeah. If you hadn't said that, I was going to. Well, just knowing what Boolean searches are.
Oh. I was just going to give him stuff about Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you're doing that. How's that going?
It's going. Next.
Have you done I agree with Mover, but I would like to point out all these great topics.
Yeah, Dad. Yes. Short answer, yes.
Save us from this nonsense.
Yeah, exactly.
Spare vessel 930, which I thought that was Chile, because that's the same. Chile's always got that. Hey guys, been watching the show for a while now. I'm joining the RAAF in August. Any advice or lessons you guys have learned that would consider helpful? Love the show. Keep up the good work. I think it always boils down to be a bro, cooperate to graduate, pay attention, know your ops limits, and boldface.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, that you nailed it. The big thing is be a good dude, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
because you know what they call the number one graduate and the last graduate for either officer training school or pilot training?
Ensign.
Or second lieutenant for the officer training school part. And then pilot.
Yeah.
Like, now granted, you might be a P3 pilot versus a Hornet pilot, but you're still gonna be a pilot. So be nice to your bros. Yeah. You can rib them once you have wings on your chest, like we do.
Yeah, exactly.
Or straight shit talk them, like I do all the time, for any reason. That's why.
Good luck, though. That's awesome. Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
No, that's awesome. It's a good time. It's great. Ty 777 5-door Big Jet TV says Chuck Norris once carried a couch up 6 flights of stairs while sitting on it.
I love it.
Graph Web estimate on what Iran has left. Dude, that was an interesting thing because we can talk about this. I'll get your opinion on this.
Okay.
We were talking, if you looked at the daily averages, right? The number of drone attacks and the number of missile attacks had gone from hundreds down to the teens. And in the last couple of days, it's ramped back up. And then the last couple of days, there's also been, which they said they didn't have, an intercontinental ballistic missile launch that went, they said, hey, well, we 2,000 kilometers, which I'm going to use metric because those are the only numbers anybody's talking about. And then the thing went all the way almost to Diego Garcia, almost 4,000 kilometers, and was shot down by probably the Gettysburg, thinking it was a Hornet.
Squawking and talking, shoot it.
It's an SM3, but
yeah.
So, dude, what do you think's going on over here? What is your geopolitical analysis of the current battlescape?
Dude, any best guesses? Honestly, who knows, right? Like you said, intel is, well, I guess as good as intel is going to be. It's Iran, right? They're under attack. It's not like they're going to be broadcasting to the people attacking them what they're.
You think they hit it? Or you think somebody's supplying them?
Well, that's a possibility too. They might be getting help from another country, or they may have, they just may be, there may be some sort of strategic value to holding back, some of the attacks until, I don't know, better targets show up. I don't think, I wouldn't expect them to just Hail Mary everything until everything's gone. Right. But dude, I don't know, man. It could be a litany of things. You bring up a very good and valid point where maybe they were being depleted and are now being resupplied by somewhere else, but that remains to be seen, at least on the worldwide web.
How do you get them in the country without
being
seen? But the Russians were helping them for a little while. That was out. That was out. Yeah. The Russians were helping them. I'm sure the Chinese are helping them because the Chinese have given them so much air defense and whatnot.
Yeah, dude, it could be a combination of that. It could be, several countries helping them combined with maybe they've ramped up their own production, or dude, maybe they opened up the mountain that's got a whole bunch of them in storage and are pulling them out. I don't know, man.
So you're saying their pullout game is strong?
It appears to be.
Good. Thank you. Thank you for that analysis.
We're such a large country. Yes.
Our pilot says, Mover, sorry to hear about your colleague. It creeps up on you. My father passed last year. His birthday hit me hard. Sorry for your loss.
Wow.
He was Navy aboard the USS Wasp, CVS-18, helicopter hydraulics, and squadron HS-11. Why ask old school questions? And I'm sorry for your loss. Dude, I tell you, losing my dad, it's hard, dude. Losing a parent, a father, it's tough. Sorry for your loss. Rough Rudders, puppy dog, retired COD guy. I flew Chuck Norris to the boat back in 2006, and I thought this was going to be a Chuck Norris joke, but this is just a factual statement.
Legit, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Spider says, hi, guys, to the beginning of spring. Yeah. Oh, see, that's why you got the allergies and whatnot.
Yeah, dude.
Spring has sprung.
Me and the kids.
Air Godzilla. Chuck Norris has a machine gun. It's a Gal 8. Trash Burner 1. Loving the Warthog, still getting the job done. Missing the F-111. Could she get the job done today? EF-111, probably.
Yeah, I think that's what he's talking about. Well,
no, the F-111 was then the it's like the EA6 and the A6, like they're.
Yeah, Spark Bark. Yes.
I don't know. All right, did we do this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I think he posted it twice just to mess with you.
Did he?
I would totally read that twice too.
For $5, what I know.
Yeah. I ended up unscrewing this is what's going to happen. Lefty loosey, righty tighty.
Yes, dude. Yeah, I've been teaching. These are lessons I've been teaching my kids.
Well, what if it's backwards though? That's the problem. Like, what if it's
could be left-hand threads.
Yeah, that always gets me. Is the left-hand threads.
Me too.
All right, let's get serious for a minute. Douglas, the article, please. We'll start with that, and then I've got some extra information. So, wow, tough night in LaGuardia. 2 pilots were killed after Air Canada. It's actually Air Canada Express under the Jazz call sign. NTSB says the investigation is underway as 9 people remain hospitalized after a plane hit the fire truck on the runway. They collided. It was carrying 72 passengers, 4 crew member from Montreal going to LaGuardia. That's a very short flight, by the way.
Yeah.
9 people remain hospitalized. The collision happened about 11:45 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday as a firefighting vehicle was responding to a separate incident. They've obviously started an NTSB investigation. They've got the flight data recorder, but they just opened LaGuardia today. I would like, Doug, you can take that down because we're going to break down SLC Scanner. If you guys aren't following this, I've discovered them today. It's got a timeline, and I think it sheds some light on kind of what's going on. So at 9 p.m., United 2384 experiences issues during takeoff, attempts 2 rejected takeoffs. The crew reports a weird odor in the cabin, and they return to the gate, request fire services. They were asked if the odor resembles smoke or fire. They said it's not, but it's indescribable. The crew notes that they had a prior anti-ice issue and double rejected takeoff, the odor upon exiting the runway. So they actually, if you look into this, they try to go to the gate, and in typical airline fashion, there's no gates available for them. So they can't find it. So they stop and they say, well, we're going to declare an emergency. Flight attendants in the back feel ill from an odor. Crew requests any available gate and prepares for possible evacuation. Fire trucks are dispatched. So that's what starts this chain of events. That's why we have fire trucks going where we're going. Ground controller informs UL 2383, which is actually the ramp, but contacting Port Authority. Fire trucks positioned. Crew prefers to wait on a gate, but notes limited time due to lingering odor. Operations continue nearby. Jazz is cleared for the ILS approach and landing. Somebody had asked if they were cleared, and so according to this, they were. They were number 2 behind Southwest traffic. Then LaGuardia Tower clears Truck 1 and company to cross runway 04 to respond to United 2384. Frontier 4195 instructed to stop. multiple urgent calls to stop vehicles, 2603 to go around, tower observes a collision, they instruct. Here is the audio.
Vehicle needs to cross the runway.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower.
Truck 1 and Company.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower, requesting to cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, crossing 4 at Delta.
Frontier 4195 to stop there, please. Stop, truck 1, stop. Stop, truck 1, stop. Stop, truck 1, stop. Delta 2603, go around, runway heading 2000. Jet 646. Jet 646, I see you collide with a vehicle here, just hold position. I know you can't move. Vehicles are responding to you now.
Is the runway closed?
Delta 2603, go around, runway heading 2000.
Heading 2000, go around, Delta 2603.
Your tower.
Truck 32, runway 4 is closed, correct?
Yes, go on to runway 4 now. Proceed on runway 4, you have access.
Tower, Carnan 0, runway 422 is closed at this time.
90, roger.
LaGuardia Tower, vehicle 98.
98. Vehicle 98.
Vehicle 98, please show at this time. Runway 422 is closed. I repeat, runway 422.
Okay, so this is the also from SLC scanner, CCTV footage. I'm going to warn you, this is tough to watch, and we debated whether we were going to show it, but there are some things that we're going to look at here. So here's the actual collision itself from CCTV. You can see the fire trucks trying to cross the runway, and then there's truck 1 going across, tries to turn, and there's the impact that does that. So that's the setup. Later, which we haven't played, the controller takes responsibility. He said I messed up, and there's a lot of sadness on that radio, but obviously that resulted in the loss of 2, the captain and first officer. There was an article that said, what did they say? Pilot and I don't know. They don't know. The media never knows the difference between a first officer and a captain or whatever. But the flight attendant was thrown in the jump seat and survived.
Right.
So, Gonky, what are your thoughts?
I mean, thoughts and prayers of the captain and the first officer, man. It's horrible. You kind of talked about it at the beginning, but the whole United, if you there's a couple of clips out there that have the whole dialogue of the United smoke and fumes they were smelling and what they were trying to do. They're trying to get to a gate like you were talking about. So the ground controller was working hard to try to find them a gate. And at the same time, they had declared an emergency, the one that I listened to. So the trucks were on the way. So, you've got an emergency that's taking place, and your controller is trying to get the fire trucks to the emergency potential fire, right? And I guess at the same time handling traffic, right? So there's a lot going on at, what is this, like 11:30 at night at LaGuardia. So I don't know. I've never been there. I know you said you have been there before. I would assume 11:30 at night is not the busiest time for LaGuardia. I know there's probably a night launch for a lot of international stuff, but I don't know what the workload is like for them. But this controller, I listened to a lot of the ATC tapes that are out there, and he definitely sounded pretty busy, man. So, it's easy. I can see having made mistakes on the radio before, and having misunderstood things on the radio and transmitted things incorrectly on the radio myself. I can see where something like this could happen. I don't know. Do you know, Mover? Do the fire trucks have transponders on them?
Well, that's a good question. I don't think so. I don't think they have any kind of,
because
that would be, yeah. I mean, I know what you're saying, because they've got the ground monitoring system and everything. If they do, I don't know about it. I've never done any ground operations.
So, I mean, at your big, busy airports, I mean, you're squawking on the ground, because so they can see you, right? Just in case the weather is bad. And we didn't talk about the weather, but it wasn't terrible. I mean, it was, I think, some mist. The ceilings were okay, but being nighttime, so from the controller point of view, I can see how a mistake like this could happen given the scenario that he was in. Now, the pilots, as far as any potential warning that they had that this was going to happen, the only thing I could think of was just being on tower, hearing the events unfold on tower if they're up the common tower frequency, which I'm pretty sure they were. But dude,
were they though? Was he talking?
The fire truck was on tower, at least the ATC tapes that I saw.
Yeah.
So, and generally, I think that's what generally happens because it's an active runway and you want all players involved. But, I'm in the habit always of clearing the runway before I land. But I'll tell you, even during the day, good weather, like it's hard to see an airplane. And an airplane is significantly larger than a fire truck. And, these guys had landed. I mean, if you look at the crash pictures, the reversers are out, the flaps are down. I mean, they're doing 114 knots, which is really fast, but, well below flying speed. And the truck doesn't start to actually come out on the runway really until they about hit it. At least that's what the footage shows. So, even, somebody like myself who tries to clear the landing area right before landing, well, it is clear. Those guys touch down, start their rollout, and as a pilot monitoring, he's probably checking for spoiler deployment, reverser deployment. He's probably starting to get the speed in his cross check, make sure that the deceleration is happening on schedule. Pilot flying, he's just trying to make sure it's a soft landing and, execute his mechanics properly for getting the airplane stopped on center line. And then fire truck pulls out in front. And at that point, I mean, there's nothing you can do. You can't go. Airplane doesn't have enough performance to get airborne again before you hit the fire truck. You can't stop because they're already trying to stop. Steer, but in my mind, I think they just didn't have any time. Clearly, the fire truck saw at the last second what was happening and tried to veer out of the way. But from the guys in the truck, the fire truck perspective, I don't know what their protocols are. I've heard them on the radio myself. It's not uncommon to hear, airport authority and all, even the fire trucks and stuff call for taxi and to cross runways and whatnot. That's not uncommon. And I would think that they were probably also well trained in, hey, if you cross in a runway, check, look left and right. But you put yourself in that scenario, they're responding to an emergency, right? They don't know if there might be a real fire on this United jet. So in their mind, they're thinking, man, we got to get to this airplane. We got to get, okay, he said we're cleared to cross, we're going. You can tell them stop 100 times, but if you're focused on a task getting there, okay, we're clear to cross, boom, here we go, stop. And then, it's too late. So long story short, man, just I think a lot of holes lined up for this to happen. And once the fire truck pulled out there, man, there just wasn't enough time for really anybody to do anything. It's just, I'm speechless. It's so tragic. And unfortunately there's two fatalities, but man, I think lucky that there's not more. I don't know how the guys in the fire truck survived. I mean, what we talked about before the show, the fire truck's like 50,000 pound truck. The CRJ is a 85,000 pound. I mean, these are big machines that just collided at, 104, what was it, 114 knots?
It's like 105 or something.
Yeah, that's like 120 miles an hour. I mean, that's like worse than a high speed accident you're going to see on the highway. I mean, it's tremendous, right? The forces involved. So I don't know, man. I mean, that's my take on it. I mean, what do you think?
Okay. So I'm a little bit different perspective because I've landed at LaGuardia in an airplane. I've been a first responder in running code to something, so I know about intensity to get to something where you think something bad's happening. And number two, I've seen, or three, that's three. I've seen this play out in other places. So I want to go back and listen to this comm because I think it's a Swiss cheese model. Number one, controller is, one person running multiple positions. Now they're about to wind down. They're getting to that midnight where things kind of slow down, the curfew and all that stuff. But it goes back to how controllers are overtasked, they're task saturated, stuff like that. But I want to point something out. This is the audio going back to it. And I want you to listen one more time.
Frontier 4195 to stop there, please.
Okay. So at this point, you've got a conga line of fire running to this call, right? Southwest has just landed. You can't see it on the screen, but Southwest has just landed. The controller likely has thought, hey, I'm working tower and I'm working ground. So he's trying to get the fire trucks to where they need to go. So he's trying to stop Frontier. He's seen Southwest already land. He's probably the Air Canada maybe has dropped out of his cross check because this is a task saturation thing, right? You focus on the things, misprioritization, we call it in the fighter world, but task saturation starts to play here. And here you hear the exact fumble mouth that always happens when, it's like, you know what I mean? Listen.
Stop. Stop.
Okay. So he says, Frontier, stop right there. And then he starts saying, stop, truck one, stop. Truck one probably never caught that it was for him. It's a loud fire truck, a lot of stuff going on. Like you talked about, they're running to danger like you always see. And the controller has already seen this developing and realizes, oh, that slipped out of the cross check. So I think this is a little bit of call sign issue.
Tower Delta 2603, ILS 4.
2603, stand by. Who's the vehicle needed to cross the runway?
So here's the whole
Truck
thing.
1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower.
Truck 1 and Company.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower, requesting to cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, crossing 4 at Delta.
Frontier 4195 to stop there, please.
Okay, so he goes to his focus on the Frontier, thinks that he's got this.
Stop. Truck 1.
There's no call sign. It's just stop. The last thing he had talked about was to Frontier.
Stop. Stop, Truck 1. Stop. Stop, Truck 1. Stop.
Okay. I'm glad this is here. What do you see right here? Those are red lights. Those are called runway status lights. The FAA actually has training for operators anytime you do this. And this is where I get to the other part of this, because I don't think this is a one or the other thing. So runway interest lights are composed of flush-mounted in-pavement unidirectional fixtures that are parallel and focusing on the taxiway center line directed toward the pilot, the hold line. So the rules are, if they are red, vehicle operators do not proceed when the entrance lights have extinguished without an air traffic control clearance. They had a clearance. They were told to go across. But the FAA says if an air traffic control clearance is in conflict with the entrance lights, do not cross over the red lights. So this goes back with what I was talking about with the limited experience with running code to stuff. If I am going to a call, like you talked about, and I hit an intersection, because that's what this is, I do not, just because the light is green, just because I have lights and siren, I still have to clear that intersection. We lose so many vehicles when we're running to stuff because people don't stop and clear the intersection. Even though they got lights and siren, you still have to. When you do ground driver training, like you talked about, you have to look and see what's coming your direction. Now, you're in a big fire truck. It's noisy. You're looking across. Visibility is probably not good. The lights start to blend in. I can see where that's a problem. But those runway edge lights are your last get well point before you cross that runway. And I think that might be where the cross check dropped, where, because the other people in the conga line stop. they actually do hear it and stop, but you get the auditory exclusion, you get all of that. Now, from the Jazz or Air Canada Express perspective, this is the nightmare scenario, because every time you're in the sim, they put the fire truck on the runway and that's your go around, right? You know, they don't tell you anything. They're just a fire truck on the runway and you do the go around. The problem here, and I know, I hate that when stuff like this happens, you know, the media kind of takes it and people are like, oh, they're heroes and stuff. I'm not discounting that they're great pilots and they're heroes, but hard landing at LaGuardia is a normal thing because it's a short runway and we always try to land firm. Hitting the brakes hard, thrust reversers out, those are part of the normal landing. So any passenger in the back that's talking about that is describing a normal landing at LaGuardia. They were in a normal landing at LaGuardia and that truck came out there and hit them. They may not have even seen it because you're looking down the runway trying to maintain center line and no situational awareness. The FO is doing the standard calling out airspeeds and making sure the thrust reversers are out and the spoilers are deployed and everything you talked about. There's nothing they could have done, just like you said. Too fast to stop. I mean, too fast to stop, too slow to go around. That's where you're at, and it's happening too fast. This is going to be, I think, between the comm and the overwork controller, and I feel for this controller. I hate that people in social media, their first instinct was, well, we got to charge the controller for manslaughter. Holy crap. No, we don't. This dude, at worst, made a mistake that's going to haunt him the rest of his life. And I hope that he is able to get the help that he needs psychologically, because this is the kind of stuff that you carry that. And it's not just one thing. It's the Swiss cheese model. It's being overworked. It's being overworked for a long time. It's cumulative fatigue, you know, and they're going to look at all that stuff. But then the other piece to that too is it's shared responsibility. The fire truck has just as much responsibility to clear before crossing an intersection and just as much responsibility to adhere to those red lights as anybody else. And that's, I don't know.
No, you're right. I mean, how many times has ATC given you a clearance and you're like, no, right? It's a cooperate to graduate, right? I mean, it's amazing to me that people would, even the guys in the fire truck are going to have the same issues, man. Right. I mean,
and I'm not trying to dump on the firefighters. I'm just saying that there is a shared amount of, like, that's all I'm saying. Like, it's not going to be one. It's just like when we talk DCA, because, and it's ironic. It's horribly ironic that this is another short runway that's oversaturated with too much traffic, not enough controllers, running a lot of RJs and dissimilar traffic. It's like, it's eerie how similar it is when we don't have enough controllers. Like, we're not paying them enough. We're not giving them enough benefits. We're not resting them enough. Like, this doesn't happen if you have well-rested, you know, good controllers. That, not saying he's a bad controller, but like, two people should have been doing that job right there. He was doing too many jobs at once.
Yeah. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, like, I can't believe people would want to bring charges against.
That's a low IQ take. It's always the low IQ take. They want to put people in jail for things they don't like. That's, everybody wants that. That's why they call the cops for civil matters, because they want to put people in jail for everything they don't like.
I mean, that guy was doing his job to the best of his ability, and you hit the nail on the head, man. I mean, they're overworked, they're underpaid, they're understaffed. It's a thankless job. And dude, he's doing 11:30 at night, right?
Yeah. 11:45.
Right. 11:45
pushing midnight.
Yeah. So, you know, nobody, the fire truck drivers, the controller, obviously none of this is on purpose, right? I mean, accidents happen, and the best that we can do is try to learn from this. But dude, yeah, I agree with you, man. I hope that both the controller and the fire truck drivers, I mean, I think they're pretty seriously injured, but I hope they can get the help they need. Cause I mean, dude, that's something pretty heavy to have hanging over you.
So for the people that they are saying, I want to bring this back real quick, cause I could be wrong. This is very possible. This is a moving target. So let's see. Somebody just said these are not the SWL lights. Went out the 4-second mark. You can see them extinguished. So I see that's a red fire truck, but those look like the red lights to me. Now, whether they actually extinguish or not, I don't know. But that light right there looks like red lights to me. That's something they'll look at, whether that's true or not.
Yeah. And I mean, here you have a good example of like, there was obviously layers of safety involved where if any one of those would have done their job, this wouldn't have happened. But at the end of the day, I mean, sometimes, even with trained people, operating with the best intentions, sometimes these things happen, man. Because, real life, man, I mean, there's all kinds of external forces going on here. And it's easy to armchair quarterback this, but in the moment, I mean, cause I've been there, man, I've been oversaturated. I've made mistakes. I mean, not thankfully, nothing as horrible as this, but I mean, I can see how it can happen.
I hope this is sarcasm. They were given permission to cross. They had priority of getting to the emergency air traffic could have stopped. How do you want an 80,000 pound RJ at 130 knots to come to a complete? This is what I'm talking about. Like, I really hope you're being sarcastic. Like, I hope this is something that I'm missing the context on, because dude, it's like crossing train tracks, man. Like, you're not going to stop the train.
He can hit the brakes.
Yeah.
But he will hit you at a quarter of a knot.
The crossing guard is not working. You got to look. You got to clear your path. Dude, when I'm flying, every time I'm flying, right, crossing a runway, because we air taxi in the helicopter, I always, with my TFO, clear right, finals clear, nobody's there, clear left, just in case. I mean, even opposite direction. I don't know. Like, they could be
if it's a
180.
runway. Yeah.
If it's a runway.
Even if it's off duty, if we're, you check, man.
You are crossing an active runway. Even if you're cleared, you need to be looking. Like, there's never in any training does it ever say, oh, if you're cleared, just do what you want. Even if you're an emergency vehicle, because guess what? And this is what we talk about in law enforcement, that whatever you're going to, you're no good to them if you're in a ditch, and we've got to send other first responders now to deal with you because you got into a wreck trying to get there.
Yeah.
I
tell you, Mover, you brought up, I mean, I didn't see it until you played it again, but the whole piece of telling Frontier to stop.
Yeah.
And then just yelling, stop, 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 stop. I mean, dude, that's like being in an LFE and somebody broadcasting on comm, break left.
Yeah,
like,
it's a panic response. It's a panic response because his mind knows what he's seeing. Yeah. And he is not getting it out fast enough because it's developing too fast. Like, that poor guy saw this, recognized it, and there was nothing he could do about it.
He caught his mistake, but in the process of communicating it, man, I mean, like, and this is what I'm saying, man, there's so much external stuff. Like, you remove Frontier. If Frontier was never there, maybe he would have said truck one stop, and truck one would have stopped, and this would have been averted, right? Because like you said, this is where some comm discipline is very important, because who stopped, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I do. It's a horrible situation. I feel for the victims and the families of the two pilots, the people that were on board, the people that have to live with this, the controller, the firefighters, everybody. No one wins. No one wins. No one is totally to blame. No. And don't mistake what I'm saying. I'm not, saying that it's the firefighter. I'm not saying it's the controller. I'm definitely not saying it's the pilots, because of anybody in this, they are the 100% victims. There's nothing they couldn't have stopped. They couldn't have gone. Nothing would have saved them short of some miracle that I can't even fathom, because it was too short.
That's the crappy part, right? I mean, it's, as pilots, we like to think, no matter what happens, I can fix it. Dude, this is one time where you might as well be sitting in the back with the passengers. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. I don't know.
Very sad.
We'll see what the people at home have to say about this. It's terrible. Let's see. Scott says, former Harrier plane captain used to teach movement area driving. I've seen ATC make mistakes. Look before you cross, even when cleared, maintain sterile cockpit. Yeah. B-Shoke says there were a few heterodynes on a few transmissions, but I don't know if they were before, during, or after the collisions. Doug, what do these words mean?
I don't know what heterodyne is.
Doug is...
You get feedback through your signal and it ramps up, but I'm not 100% sure. I think he was referencing. I think he was referencing who might have been able to hear what and when.
Oh,
because that was the part of discussion that comment came through in.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Blanco Lirio says they do have ground vehicle transponders, but don't know if they were employed here.
Okay.
Scott's Photography says if watch the video, truck one keeps going, you can see the trucks behind it stop. Yeah, I know. That's what we're talking about. Everybody else stopped.
You can also see truck one lose his steering. He gave it a steering input and it turned, and then it started to push. He was clearly trying to respond.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Arrow Wrench says, as a career regional guy, this really hits home. Same as the PSA loss. I'm just a mech, but I know the CRJ's inside and out. I know a lot of crews. My heart weeps. Yeah, it's so sad that like all these incidents, Toronto, DCA, it's the RJs. You know, but they fly them. I mean, they do the most. They have the most exposure.
Well, dude, I mean, you know, if they're flying an Airbus, they're not dead. Because the airplane sets up. I mean, the CRJ sits really low, like truck level, right? Yeah. I mean, look at the 7.8. Was that the A350 that landed on the? Was it a?
Oh yeah, the Mitsubishi.
Landed on another airplane, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
but it wasn't. It was another airplane going same way, same day. It was not another. It was not 90 off with a direct hit or glancing blow. I'm
just saying, dude, unfortunately, CRJ, that thing sets down low. And
yeah, it's raked.
It's
like my Corvette.
It's sad, man.
Yeah. Robin says, once plane reversers are deployed, could the plane go to tow? No. Once the reversers are out, you're committed to that.
Yeah.
There's no toga at that point. Sharkbait says the two pilots killed in the crash are Antoine Forrest and Mackenzie Gunther. Captain Forrest is a resident of Coteau-du-Lac.
Oh, wow. Thanks for the names. Wow.
Irene says, ARF trucks don't stop on a dime. So sad.
Yeah.
Stever7638, having worked in an airport waiting to cross, your head is on a swivel. That being said, once the truck had clearance safe bet, they were looking in the air and not seeing a plane on the ground mixed in with all the lights. I mean, that's probably valid.
That's valid. Yeah, because they got all the lights on, man.
Savannah says, maybe a dumb question, but can engine shut off for evacuation? Cockpit is destroyed, or would impact cut off fuel cause damage or shuts them off? Probably when the cockpit ceased to exist as part of the aircraft, it probably cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, there's tremendous damage to that airplane. Yeah. I mean, anybody's guess.
There's nothing that I know of built in.
No.
It's like it'll auto cut off or anything. Yeah. TAC Air says, appreciate you guys, Mover, Gonky, Dougie. Rest in peace to the victims. Such a tragic incident. The NTSB investigation is going to be something else, but your initial assessment, that was on point. Again, I'm seeing a lot of comments about the RSWL, so could be incorrect. It looks red to me back here, but it's grainy video, so even still, you still have to clear the intersection.
Yeah, regardless, yeah.
Arrow Wrench says, Mover, you make 2 points about task saturation runway entrance lights. First, I cannot believe that local controller was also the ground control in operation like LGA. That's more common than you think.
Yeah.
Especially a very common thing.
Especially at night.
Arrow Wrench. Second, I wonder if the fire truck treated the runway entrance lights like a traffic light. No, I mean, if he didn't see it, he could have been past it too. You know, I mean, he could have already have committed by the time that, he heard stop. We don't know. Yeah. Boris says, keep in mind that those controllers are not getting paid now. I thought they were.
I thought they were too.
I think they are. I think that's just TSA. They have a bunch of things going on in their minds that may distract them, bills and mortgage. I don't know that's, I mean,
I mean, that might be valid, but I don't know.
I know it was valid the first time, but I thought this was a very specific, like, you know, Homeland Security, TSA, Secret Service, like, because they're trying to target ICE.
Well, if it is true, I mean, that could very well be another factor.
True. Yeah. Personal factors are always a thing. Fortunate Father says, I've been in law enforcement 20 years. At the end of the day, a first responder is clearing any intersection is ultimately responsible for clearing it safely, other variables notwithstanding. I mean, that's my take, but X-Flyer says, hi, guys, old Vietnam F4 pilot and F-14 F4 and F-14 Rio here. Sorry. Thanks, didn't know I was a passenger until I started watching. Love the show. Never missed it.
See, this is my kind of wizzo.
Rio, Gonky.
Thanks, man.
Tom says, what's the red light on the center line that goes out just as the fire truck enters in front of the fire truck?
I don't know.
Hold on.
A clearer video.
I'm going to share the no kidding FAA. This is what I was talking about. That's what it looks like. So this is what you have. Runway entrance lights. That's what I think I'm seeing is the runway entrance lights that change colors. When activated, these red lights indicate there's a high-speed traffic on the runway or there's an aircraft on final approach within the activation area. So you get these red lights right here and right here.
Does the controller control those lights or are they automatic? You know, like, does the controller, like, hey, you're clear to land, he presses the button, right? Like, all the red lights are on. I don't know how it works. I mean,
red and pavement airport lights certify a potentially unsafe situation that's based on automated, based on inputs from surveillance. Okay. Odds are those things were red. I know they keep saying, people in the chat keep saying they're not, but it's automated, which means that there was an aircraft on there, which means it was probably on because they're automated. Yeah. So the RELs are on the center of taxiways, red when there's a high-speed traffic on the approaching signal is unsafe to enter the runway. And the whole thing says, lights are automated based on inputs from terminal surveillance systems, will illuminate red to serve as a warning signal for pilots and vehicle operators, indicates unsafe to enter, cross, or begin takeoff on a runway. They indicate runway status only. They do not indicate clearance. Pilots and vehicle operators should continue to follow standard rules of clearance required from now. And here's what it says, what precautions should take. If it's illuminated, they should hold short and advise ATC they're holding for red lights. And LaGuardia has this system.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I may be wrong. I'm just going off of what it looks like on the thing.
Well, at the end of the day, dude, it's a layer of safety, and it can be, unfortunately, it can be bypassed by accident.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think anything.
100%. 100%. Boris says, keep in mind also that LaGuardia is in the sea. In the night, it's complete darkness and can't see a lot of things because of the seawater. Well, haze and thank you, CRW MDP. Fate is the Hunter. Yeah. Kevin says, Fate is the Hunter. That's a good book. Find ways to. It's like Murphy's Law. Aaron says, every one of us has been given instructions by ATC has put us in harm's way. We all make mistakes. It's our duty to clear the area ourselves. Again, I'm not throwing the firefighters under the bus. I'm just saying that I don't want to see everybody just throw this on the air traffic controller. You know, it is not just one thing. It's going to be multiple things. Stretch says, what is the backlighting like? Looking from the truck in the direction of the Jackson city lights, possibly wash out the lane lights. No, but you've got the taxi lights, the runway edge lights, the pappies. Well, you're not seeing the pappies?
Yeah, I won't be seeing the pappies
now. But you're seeing all the runway lighting, other aircraft that are probably holding short to take off.
There's a lot of lights.
Now you're sitting up in a fire truck. So it's a little bit better, but you're not like sitting in a 777 or a 78. You're sitting lower to the ground.
Yeah.
John says, it's an accident period. Only by the grace of God go I. 100%. Arrow Wrench says, amen, Mover. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Jimmy says, excuse me, but two highly experienced pilots should be given deference to their take. I just talked to my roommate in pilot training, who's a retired F-16 pilot and current airline pilot. Okay, thank you. I don't know the context of that, but thank you.
Thanks, man.
Sig says, if any charges should be brought, it should be against stupid politicians, FAA execs for letting matters get to this point. Will they ever learn?
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you there.
Dude, sad.
B-Shoke says, heterodyne equals stepped on transmission. I got you. I honestly, I think it goes back to Frontier stop, truck one stop. Like,
dude, if I'm the truck driver, and,
you didn't hear it.
Well, if I'm the truck driver and I'm listening to the comm and I hear him say Frontier stop, and then I'm like, okay, we're going because he cleared us to land, and then all I hear is stop. I'm thinking, dude, Frontier's not stopping.
Yeah,
what are those guys doing?
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
Our pilot says maybe they'll recover cam from the fire truck, possibly, but what's it gonna? I mean,
it might show the lights. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe.
Were the trucks on tower frequency? Yes.
Yeah. At least that's what I saw when I was watching all the different footage.
Holly Movie Star says, have you discussed the possible sighting photographing of an RQ-180 stealth drone over Larissa, Greece last week? No. Subi says, Gonky, you shaved and last week told the viewer DCS is not realistic. Mover, you need a new co-host. Great show. I look forward to it every week.
I speak the truth.
Oh my gosh. Vinay says, on the ATC video, what were those alarm beeps heard just before the impact? Could be collision.
It might be, yeah. Dude, maybe they do have transponders, right? And
yeah.
It's screaming. I don't know.
Arrow Wrench says, one more item not to mention. I was taxiing an RJ200 LAX on Charlie. I had to slam the brakes for a tug crossing an intersecting service road. The only words I could say on my right seater was, dude. I mean, dude, that's it. You can't get the words out. And he was already getting other words out. So it's the directive descriptive.
Yeah.
Right. And the directive was to stop. The problem is he had already been telling somebody else to stop. It's dude, that's.
Yeah. I mean, it's, when if you're moving at 100 plus knots, I mean, 1 second, you're covering a lot of distance.
What he needed was like the LSO wave off thing, was it the pickle switch or whatever?
Yeah. Pickle button. Yeah.
So now you're like wave off and, everything's flashing, but I mean, Jimmy Hassa says, let me remind everyone that dudes with military call signs are more expert than the rest of you. Regards, nasty. I don't know what's happening here, but I love it.
Thank you, though.
Yeah, the Dire OG says, can the Swiss cheese please stop lining up? Spicy cheese would be a lot better, Gonky.
There's no holes in spicy cheese, Mover. Only Swiss.
It is when I cut out the pepper. I hate pepper jack cheese. Subi says, thoughts and prayers for all those involved. Yes, thank you.
Of course. Thank you.
Legendary Jangle says, had a 6-hour psych eval today in pursuit of my first class med to start my PPL. What the hell? I have some medical stuff that might rule that out, but heavily inspired by y'all always hammer and make them tell you no. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah.
Hope it went well for you.
Yeah.
Sharkbait says, regarding LaGuardia, the S-92 helicopter I flew last had G-controlled crash switches that cut off the fuel and activated the fire extinguishers at 10 Gs.
Wow.
Yeah. Spaced Man Spiff says there would be multiple eyeballs in the fire truck to help clear emergency vehicles have a responsibility to clear routes.
When they're just
4.
Was there 4 in the?
There was firefighters and NYPD. I think there was some NYPD guys in there too.
Yeah, I don't know how they sit in there, man. I mean,
they're lucky. I mean, not that any of this is lucky, but where it impacted that fire truck, if it had been 6 feet farther to the right, they too would have
perished.
Yeah.
Basically got rear-ended, which is the best case scenario for.
No, it was a glancing side still. I mean, it was they didn't get turned all the way.
Yeah. Still, like you said, it didn't hit the front or a direct side shot, man. Or
it hit the water tank. You see the water go everywhere? Yeah. Ganesh War says, hello, Mover and Gonky.
Hello, sir.
There's a very serious picture. That's like my death photo with the sheriff's office. Like, show them and avenge my death. All right, Gonky, our next controversial topic. I've already angered the internet with this one. So
really, they weren't in full support of your
my breakdown and analysis.
Your deep intel on this.
So let's talk about the article first, because the Air and Space Forces magazine says Air Force pilots suffered shrapnel wounds after F-35 hit over Iran. A U.S. Air Force F-35A pilot suffered shrapnel wounds after the aircraft was damaged during a combat mission over Iran on March 19th. People familiar with the matter told Air and Space Forces the aircraft was hit by ground fire. Though CENTCOM has not provided details, the aircraft was most likely damaged by a surface-to-air missile rather than small arms fire, just based on the altitude. It later made an emergency landing in airbase in the region. A spokesperson for CENTCOM previously said, adding the pilot was in stable condition. The only comment that CENTCOM has made was this. This is the only thing that's verified, was that an F-35 made an emergency landing and that the pilot is in stable condition. However, Iran's IRGC, the Revolutionary Guard, posted on March 19th a video purporting to show an F-35 being targeted and struck by an Iranian air defense system, which we'll show in a minute. And then on our next topic, we'll talk about the F-15E that they posted. But IRGC said they severely damaged the F-35 in the strike. They've also shot down Reapers. There has been speculation as to what kind of missile that is hit. Here is, Doug, bring up your video, please. There's the IRGC video. Play. And that's it. 6-second clip. Gonky, I have given my thoughts on my channel. I would like your thoughts on this channel.
Full disclaimer, I didn't get a chance to watch your thoughts today, sir.
That's fine. They're wrong most of the time.
You're wrong?
I mean, depends on who you ask, but go on.
Yeah, so CENTCOM has not said that an F-35 has been hit, shrapnel wounds. I just think it's weird, their statement. When you read it, it sounds funny. F-35 makes emergency landing, pilot in stable condition. It's like, well, why wouldn't he be in stable condition? Is there something right? Is there something wrong with said pilot? Right. So it's almost like a teaser, right? It's like, well,
they did the same thing with the F-15E shoot down, because they said that it had been a friendly fire incident involving Kuwaiti air defense. Yes. And everybody, including us, jumped to, well, it's a Patriot. Yeah. You know, because who thinks air defense being a Hornet? And that turned out to be, well, different.
Right. So, I mean, if history kind of gives us any clue, then it sounds like an F-35 took some damage somehow and made an emergency landing, and the pilot is okay, but maybe has some issues. The video.
Go back to video, Doug.
Dude, I've watched this video a couple times, and I don't think it is real. I'm not saying that, you know, an F-35 didn't take a hit, but, you know,
stop.
Nothing about this video to me right here looks real. And dude, the hit that this airplane took, a single engine jet, I think, yeah, dude, I think the F-35 would, as you like to say, commence rapid unscheduled disassembly. I mean, this is a hit right here. So,
well, play it a couple frames ahead, Doug.
I mean, look, like we saw,
just drag it.
We actually saw the Strike Eagles getting hit by the Kuwaiti Hornet, right? And those, I mean,
stop right there.
Those weren't as violent as this. This is a pretty, yeah. That's what I think, Mover.
So in my video, I brought up the point that, number one, usually videos that are 6 to 9 seconds,
right,
are within the tolerance of AI.
Yeah,
because that's as far as a lot of unpaid modules can do when you're trying to do fast. And the Iranian regime likes to put out a lot of propaganda videos, as we put out.
Yes.
The only thing I will say that says this might be true is we do have a little bit of a perspective issue here, because we don't know where that exploded. That could be, 100 feet off and it just looks like it hit and it prox fused.
That's true.
Right next to it, because you see the airplane is completely intact. Well,
yeah.
If you wouldn't have done that,
it's literally the last frame. Yeah. Yep. I did this too. The airplane looks completely intact,
which lends credence to the whole idea that maybe it is, because right here,
there it is.
That airplane is intact. It's kind of in the cons. However, what's interesting though is that the airplane is suddenly not white hot anymore.
Yeah, that's because the fireball behind it's whiter hotter. Mover, come on.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, go back, like, go to the middle, Doug. Go right to the middle. That is the cleanest outline. It's perfectly black. Now, maybe they tuned this pod, whatever we're looking at it with, and they made it the best image. But I mean, is that mill power or is that afterburner? It's got shock diamonds like it's an afterburner, but why would he be trucking around an afterburner? Those things don't have that much gas. Jeez.
No, and the plume would be longer.
Yeah. I mean, that could be mill power, under IR. I've never seen Fat Amy in a pod.
This is a very, very sharp picture from a sensor. And I'm getting old. Maybe they got real good stuff now, but to me, I look at this, I'm like, this is a little too clean.
Well, on the video I did, which, by the way, I agree with you that there was a hit of some sort. There was a good article about a possible engagement with this surface-to-air missile system called an AD-08, which is a truck-mounted mobile SAM, which, as you recall, mobile SAMs always give fits, right? Because they're mobile. But this is not just a mobile SAM, it's an EOIR SAM, electro-optical. And a lot of people have come out and said, well, we need to get our money back. T-Bear was pointing out, he's like, they come out and they say, we need to get our money back from Raytheon. It's like, well, number one, you got the wrong contractor. But number two, it's not an invisible. Stealth does not mean invisible. It means harder to detect with radar. Has a lower radar cross section. To me, this actually, I give Fat Amy more credit than I had before, because if it could take a hit, again, we don't know the range because proximity fusing, perspective, all that stuff. But if it could take a hit, get the pilot home safely, and the pilot got himself home safely with a shrapnel wound, number one, Purple Heart. Number two, that jet actually is beefy. Now, it did a Gonky landing. May not fly again for a while, but I would probably do a Gonky landing too if I got hit with shrapnel and was limping back to try to get out of bad guy land.
Yeah. I think it's funny, people. It's like it's like that Canadian commercial from like 20 years ago when the kids are playing. It's like, it's an invisible jet, but I see it. It's right there. Stealth refers mainly towards, invisible to radar, right? But dude, stealth technology has been around for decades, and countermeasures to that has been around for decades. And it's the old game, right? New technology, counter technology. And the F-35 is not the F-35 is not roaming around out there by itself. There's other assets that are out there, that are doing other things to make it even harder to detect F-35. Now, that being said, if you can see it, right, there's heat-seeking missiles, right, that don't need radar. There's optical guidance. I mean, there's many ways to shoot down an airplane other than using a radar and a radar missile, or like a SAM that uses radar energy to track aircraft. So F-35 is not impossible, to kill, but it's really, 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 really hard. And like you said, Mover, if it's able to take a hit, single engine airplane like this, and come home, well, we'll have to swallow some of our Fat Amy jokes, right? So, yeah, I mean, I'm glad the jet made it home, and we're not talking about a lost pilot. That would be terrible.
Yeah, it's awful. It's like it's hard to see. The EO part is what's scary, right? Because, I can deal with radar, IR, but I mean, if you're only, looking at something that's, you know, it looks at you and it shoots you.
Right.
That's scary. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's part of the game, I guess, you know, in this day and age.
Emerging
right?
threats. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do? I mean, it's for sure it's the best airplane we have for roaming around in a high threat environment. You know,
well, and it's not like people are like, well, you're not giving Iran credit. I give Iran credit. Like the fact that they have no leadership essentially, and their IADS has been taken down, but they still have these guys roaming around in trucks that could take that shot. I mean, that's impressive. I mean, that is very impressive that they could do that.
Yeah. I mean, we're not saying Iran's a clown show. I mean, clearly, I mean, Reasonable Man says they reached out and touched an F-35, right? First ever, as far as I know, and seriously damaged it and hurt one of our pilots. I mean, that's not to be taken lightly, you know. I mean, but I mean, dude, it's war, right? I mean, anytime you're throwing hot lead for real, these things happen. I mean, even with the greatest, you know, war machines that we've created.
Yeah.
You know, I hope we don't see. I would like to see, you know, the conflict over and done. That would be awesome. But as long as it's going on, you know, I mean, I just every week that goes by, I'm like, what are we going to be talking about next week? You know, so.
Well, and that's the other thing too, is that it is an ongoing shooting war. The fact that this is all we're talking about is very fortunate, because out of thousands of sorties, to have one that was partially hit and the only other 3 were from friendly fire.
Now, wait a minute. They're claiming some F-15.
Okay. Well, before that clip, as of this clip, this was gonna, yeah.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. You're absolutely right. Out of, I think CENTCOM put out 8,000 sorties.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, it's a lot.
That's a lot of flying.
Yeah. And you would like it, of course, to be 0, but you know, anytime there's hot lead flying, man, it's like, it's cowboy country, man.
I think it's just a testament to how tough that plane is. I don't know that you get hit like that in an F-16. I don't see a favorable outcome there.
Hornet can take a hit, but I could see the F-16. Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be a tough one to get through.
Yeah.
You're wearing that jet, dude.
Yeah, I know, which is good until you get hit.
Yeah, you're wearing that. If I'm getting hit, I want to be in an A-10.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Titanium bathtub.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want to be in Fat Amy. And now apparently Fat Amy embraces you with her warmth and goodness.
Like any big girl
shields you from the baddies.
It's okay. Here we go. As I throw you through the glass canopy.
Yeah. Well, that's probably he didn't eject, because he's like, okay, I've already got shrapnel in me. If I eject, I'll have more shrapnel in me from the canopy. What do I do? Well, I'm just going to ride this sucker down.
Yeah.
Give him give him a medal.
Oh, he's getting a medal.
Look, dude, if certain members of our squadron can drag me through a thunderstorm and get us struck by lightning and get a medal, this dude deserves a medal.
Yeah. I mean, he got shot by hostile. At least it was hostile forces that were shooting at him.
Definitely a Purple Heart.
Yeah.
Well, ours was God.
Yeah.
All right. That's enough. Hey, by the way, we wanted Wombat on the show, but he's at truck driving school today.
He is at truck driving school. Wombat, we miss you.
Yeah. Alex says, hi, guys. Prayers to the families. It's hard to stop something this big. My dad moves trains, and he says sudden stops make stopping worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just, there's too much energy.
Right.
Alec also says they forgot to remove the stick the model airplane is connected to. I mean, it could be. When we look at the F-15 one, it's not as cleanly outlined. And you're like,
maybe.
A little different.
Yeah.
Glocky McGlockface says the Serbs shot down an F-117. Marines barely rescued the pilot while they were closing in on the pilot.
That's true. Right.
Yeah.
That was good tactics on the Serb part, right? So
Joe says, hi, guys. A YouTuber supported his claim the vid was fake by presenting an IR of an F-22. It and the burner plume had areas with different temps. It was not a white blob, especially one with a black outline. Your thoughts? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's very, very clean. All I'm saying is, if we're going to say there's parts that are real, I could see how if you look at the perspectives at the end. But
yeah,
that's all.
Yeah.
A 6-second video. Where's the rest? You know why? Because they didn't want to show it just fly off.
Well, dude, I mean, the image of it flying to me that part didn't look real.
Well, stabilized and tracking. I mean,
right.
So
like real good.
Yeah. JD says Tehran Tim should use DCS rather than a bad AI to make their next fake video.
Yeah.
Or Arma 3 or whatever they're using. Arrow Wrench says, one thing to consider, Iran, though isolated, has been forced into innovating since 1979. They're an intelligent culture and should be respected accordingly, in my honest opinion. Remember, they invented algebra. Those bastards.
Yeah.
Never used it in my life. Thanks for
nothing against the Iranians. Like we're not. You know.
Wait. Did they invent that before or after the Shah?
Algebra?
Yeah. I'm just saying. Things went downhill.
Doug, look that up for us.
Things kind of went downhill
after the Shah.
Yeah. He didn't really leave, Gonky.
No, he got exiled, dude. He's
gone. I don't know if he just left per se. I mean, that's putting it lightly.
He probably left because of the algebra.
Yeah. It's like, I can't handle this anymore. Find C. You find C. Doogie. The alarm heard on the radio before the crash sounds like the fire truck's G limiter. Sounds like they tried to keep up as they turned to avoid. Oh,
wow!
The truck has a G limiter.
I didn't know this.
Yeah. Glocky McGlockface says once the weapon bays are open, all bets are off on stealth. Well, again, stealth doesn't do anything against IR or EO.
Right. Exactly.
And it's a radar thing.
Right.
Selig Tile says, sorry, you got to go. Top Gun is on.
Good
I watched the opening segment of Top Gun today, actually.
Which one?
Top Gun 1.
Yeah, there's none better.
I was testing my audio system to see if I'd fix some problems. And
yeah, that's a good one to test it to.
It is the only one to test it to. John says, reference to Fat Amy shot. Why does the missile plume not seem to line up and or be attached to the exhaust of the rocket body in the video? It's IR, so, you know, I don't know.
Probably because it's fake.
Yeah, that's probably true too. Beams Garage says, wouldn't the pilot know he's getting targeted chaff flare? Maybe.
Yeah.
Spare Vessel says, not sure if you were planning to cover this tonight, but I just saw news that a Colombian Air Force C-130 went down today with 125 people. It's up to 125 now. Last I saw was 110. Wow. We are going to cover that here in a minute. Dr. Narwhal says the video is so short because IRGC editors had to cut out the part where Fat Amy asked the Iranian Sam, did you put it in yet? Oh my
God. You got us. Mover will read anything you put on the screen. I love it.
Moo Cow says, subscribe for the pod, but notification turned on for Mover Ruins Movies. Yeah. Joe Baxter, if you had to, would you rather eject over Iran now or Iraq during the height of OIF? Oh.
Yeah.
Whew.
I do OIF, man.
Yeah. Although, they'll cut your throat.
I mean, either case is not ideal.
Yeah.
But
Never. Yeah. All right. So, hey, they also did this. Doug, play the video.
They claim 2, right?
Lead with the video. And this is what I'm talking about. This looks, see how it's not perfectly black outlined? It's like a blob. And they miss. They're doing some hardcore evading now. Are they, or are they just flying away? No, they're just flying away. They're just like...
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
And that's
the missile.
Oh.
And now they're popping flares because they're like, oh. hey, we're getting shot at.
Yeah. The fact that the quality is poor does make it more believable.
Well, the outline is not perfectly black.
Yes. It's not well defined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually believe this one. However, they just posted their loss for some reason. Like, okay, we shot at you and missed. This is a testament to our great strength. And then CENTCOM, Doug, came out with a statement that said, fact check. There were rumors that shot down an F-15 over Iran. U.S. forces have flown more than 8,000 combat flight hours during Operation Epic Fury. No U.S. fighter aircraft has been shot down by Iran. The problem, though, is that people see this and they're like, there's video proof that it was shot down. When no such, like, even in the video, the missile misses. People are still running with the idea that, you know, we've lost an F-35, we've lost an F-15 in the last couple days.
Well, I mean, you're going to have, you know, supporters of Iran who, I mean, I would expect that, man, to be honest. And I would expect, you know, some sort of propaganda machine in Iran too, to pump up the war effort on their end. And you know, honestly, who's to say that maybe, you know, we're subject to some of that as well? I don't know, but I would expect angry people when we say that F-35 video is fake, because, dude, they're rooting for the other team, right?
Why, though? Iran's a terrorist state.
I don't know, man.
Why would you root for them to do anything?
No, I'm saying, like, if you're sympathetic to the Iranians.
I know, that's what I'm saying, but I don't understand why you'd want to be sympathetic to them. But you're right, and they probably have troll farms out there,
right?
That are, which is funny because if they're going to accuse us of being propagandists, where's the check? Isn't there money involved when you do this, or we're just doing it out of we're volunteer propagandists?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying us. I'm just, you know, all I'm saying is I'm not surprised that people who are in support of Iran and their cause are quick to believe what they see and angry at people who say anything other than, yes, this is real. It definitely happened. Like,
I mean, that problem, I actually believe this is the most realistic video we've seen. The F-35 one was tough to watch because of, you know, how pristine it was. But this one looks like they're defending, the missile goes by and they're like, oh crap. And then pop out some flares and they're like, we got to get out of here. And then they book it and get out of there. Nice job defending.
Yeah.
Maybe a little late, but it worked. So
was that a Strike Eagle? What was the Wizzo doing? Really?
Ian, probably eating a piddle pack, eating a snack, something. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably reading. You have one job back there, man, right? We saw it in Top Gun Maverick, right? Your job is back there is to put out the expendables at the appropriate time. But
is
on
that
a serious, huh?
Is that what their job is?
I would assume. I mean,
I don't know.
What do you need a gun? Just kidding. On a serious note, though, thank goodness, right, that they didn't hit the Eagle, right?
I mean, thought it was just like an incentive ride, you know. It's like Make a Wish.
it's a career. It's a career.
It's a career Make a Wish. It's Make a Wish as a career. That's all it is.
It's Make a Wish. Oh, dude.
Send all hate mail to Gonky.
Dude, that is funny. I love it. Every ride's an incentive ride for you. What is your job? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh, so what's your affliction? Oh, I can't see. Oh, yeah, makes sense. Perfect. Yeah. Why aren't you wearing glasses?
That's funny.
I love it. They're gonna hate me so much.
It's all right, dude.
That's good though. You know, why not? All right, that's enough of that topic. We probably didn't cover any of it like we were supposed to, but that's fine. Jared says, how do the HUD tapes work with Fat Amy? Is it full helmet vision of what the pilot sees? Be cool to see. $15 Aussie is like a liter of diesel at the moment. What is a liter of diesel?
15 Aussie dollars for a liter of diesel.
Yeah, but how much is a liter?
It's like 1.2 quarts.
Okay, how much is that in gallons? That's what
around a third.
A third of a gallon.
Maybe less. Like maybe
a liter of cola. Dude, if it's like, I would hate that if it's doing the helmet vision, because when you're peeing, like,
dude, I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. I know in the Hornet, if you're using the helmet, it would record what you were seeing
when you were peeing.
I've checked that mover. So I don't...
like fast forward.
Yeah. Recommend we stop tape. Stop it.
Zoom in.
You're in the
enhance. Yeah.
It's cold in there.
It's the fish islands.
Oh, dude.
Perfect.
Terrible.
The worst. Did we do this one? Yeah.
Which one?
The one with the Vietnam. Yeah. F4, F-14 that he gave us $100 and we're totally destroying his whole career path.
But he gets it, man. That's the funny thing.
He used to get it.
No, for sure.
Gets it.
Dude, he's an old F4 Rio. 100% if he was on the show, he'd dish it right back.
He's not a snaw. Sensitive new age wizzo. They have no.
I think he got the flying Phantoms, so you know.
Yeah, he's cooler than us.
Oh, I love it. Sensitive new age wizzo.
Never heard that snap, and I had to come up with snaw because I didn't know the.
Dude, so true.
I guess they're sizzos now. Snack.
A snack, dude.
You're a snack.
It's so true. It's painfully true,
man. At Soft Cot, your Iranian American buddy here. I know they shot down nothing. All BS.
Oh, dang.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Well, we're glad you're here.
Yes.
I mean, dude, if they would just give up all the, top level stuff, Iran would be a really great country.
It was. Great people. My dad was there, dude, during the Shah's reign in the 70s, and he said it was great.
Do you imagine a Middle East where they didn't act like assholes and everybody got along?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Like I said, the entire time I lived there, it was war.
Yeah.
It's just sad. It's fat. I mean, there's a lot of normal people out there just trying to make a living.
There ain't no way 13 US AUD is enough for a bloomin' onion. You priced a bloomin' onion? Yeah.
With ranch.
I hate onions, though. I can't do it, even with ranch. All right, Gonky, more sad news. This time out of Colombia. Colombian Defense Minister Pedro Arnulfo Sanchez of Colombian Air Force C-130 crashed while taking off out of Fuerza Pública, military troops. And dude, it had 110 people on board.
Wow.
Play the tape, Doug. You got the other video of the low flying C-130?
Just a second.
That's wild. There's 100 people on that thing, huh? Wow. Do you know what model C-130?
I've got it, Doug.
Yeah, I don't have it.
That'll be reflected in your performance evaluation.
I already got my pay, Doc.
Wait till you see how low we can go with it. Here we go. Oh, that's bad words in Spanish.
Demonetized.
Dude, it is not climbing before you hear the engine cut. You hear the engine cut?
Yeah, is that
and
smoke?
Then it banks. Yeah, dude, it looks like it
lost the motor.
Lost one or more on
the left
side. They raise the dead. The gear is still down too.
Mm-hmm.
They are just after takeoff. This is like, I mean, it almost looks like they were just after takeoff, didn't have enough airspeed, didn't do the V2 plus 20 or whatever, and just didn't have the knots. I mean, it's mountainous or looks at least hilly, some kind of terrain, and I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if you lose the motor on a turboprop airplane like that, if for whatever reason you can't get that thing feathered, it's a lot of drag, man. It does look like something happened on the left side of that airplane. I thought I saw some smoke trailing over the wing on the left side there, kind of in and out of the trees. Dude, yeah, right on takeoff. Looks like they never put the gear up, right? So
positive, right?
Yeah, I mean, right away.
Well, it kind of reminds me of that Savannah with the Puerto Rican Guard, where they kind of took off, went into the dead engine. Unfortunately, didn't make it, but because they kind of got that bank. But dude, if you don't have enough knots, you know, in airliner world, we accelerate, you know, and go. But if you don't have enough knots, you lose that engine. The gear's still down. You know, there's not a whole lot. You know, like you said, if you can't get the engine feathered fast enough.
No, and you bring up a good point. The terrain there. I mean, it's not mountainous, but it's hilly, and that's not, dude. That is no bueno. You know, if you're fighting, you know, even trying to stay in any kind of ground effect, right? It's not your friend. So, it just happened. There's not much news out for it. One of the commenters, right, said up to 125 is the fatality count, which is horrible. So,
oh geez, yeah.
Sucks. I mean, there'll be, there'll be more to follow, but I don't. To me, it looks like some sort of engine trouble on the left side, and it looks like it just doesn't have enough thrust to continue flying. And they, you know, they probably did their best to crash land it, and being in that kind of hilly terrain doesn't look like it was. Could have been very successful.
I think it was an 83H model.
Okay.
So that probably has a flight engineer. So in the event of a failure, that's who's feathering and responsible for all that.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
and Crazy Pete, who was a flight engineer, said that's packing him in for a herc, even if it's stress. So probably heavy.
Yeah. Right, warm out, right? Not.
Yeah, I don't know what the weather was, but definitely, you know, shortly after takeoff, and it's a very vulnerable time. Landing gear's down. You got a lot of drag. Were the flaps down?
I wanted to look at the rudder. If you could see the rudder.
Dude, there's no way on this one.
Deflected. And I wonder, man, if that was, you know, was that all military personnel, or were they doing some sort of humanitarian, you know?
Army. It was Army.
It's all Army guy? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that doesn't make it any better, but I mean, I'm just curious.
Yeah, you can see here. Let's see, I'll share this real quick. You can see, dude, they're in a very draggy configuration. See, the flaps are down. Flaps down, gear down.
Oh, yeah.
And a bank.
Yeah, it's too hard to see the rudder. Yeah, something. Yeah, something.
Crazy Pete says it's the FE backs up the co-pilot on feathering. So there you go. So you had, I mean, but my point is, you have the third person there that's helping you while you're trying to manage the emergency.
And being this close to the ground, this soon after takeoff, I mean,
yeah, because I mean,
you want to talk about being in a time crunch, man. I mean.
Yeah, it looks like they're. See, I don't know what's out in front of them, too. You know, are they trying to avoid something else?
I don't know. You know, the takeoff looks pretty normal. It looks like they peak at a couple hundred feet, and the thing just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awful.
Very sad.
Very sad to hear. I mean, if it could have been, if it all four quit, you know, fuel problem, but the odds of that are so very low.
Right.
You know, it doesn't. I don't know. I mean. Anything's possible. They'll do an investigation and find out.
Yeah.
But all right. That's the last of the crashes, unfortunately. Or fortunately. Unfortunately, we had to talk about it. Unfortunately.
2/3 of the show is
crashes.
Not good.
Spider says, other topic, new VR. Do you keep it or no? Yeah. Absolutely. Gonky has no idea. I did it. Crazy Pete says back in 2008, there was a series of 4-engine power rollbacks. So there you go. Could be.
Oh, I wonder why.
That's weird. I mean, it's an H model. So Joe says, off topic, but mover, you seem happier now. I guess retirement suits you. Now you can focus on your YouTube empire. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate you.
Oh, on that note, dude, this week we crossed 100,000 subscribers.
Oh, yeah. That was our first banner too, huh?
Yes, we were supposed banner number 1. We screwed it up. See, now we got to start the show over.
Skipped right over. And scene. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Mover and Gonky show. I'm Mover. This is Gonky.
Hello.
Thanks for 100,000 subscribers. Doug, how are you? Thanks.
Hey, guys, we made 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's put Doug back in his corner. Nope.
Yeah.
Hang on. Do that.
That's not Doug down there. Perfect.
All right. Thanks for 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. It's awesome.
Awesome.
Wild.
All right. Back to the show because we're
Yes,
way
back to the
behind. Doug.
Doug, get back in your hole.
Hi.
All right. Now I don't know which one we're on. Oh, hey, the ambush cap. Check this video out, dude.
Pretty wild. This is a Russian
Yeah,
jet, right?
Su-35 doing a little ambush cap. Film from a drone. He pops up. Waiting for him to fire.
Shoot.
There he goes. Did he fire? Did we miss it?
I'm just impressed at this drone's ability to track.
It's kind of making me motion sick, to be honest with you.
It looks
It's
like
not-
it has ranging, right? It's ranging.
There's so many jump cuts. I'm going to see if I can slow it down.
It's ranging towards the flanker, man. It's wild. There it was.
There's a shot.
Looks like
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
If you go back and read, Doug, the actual post, it's a Ukrainian drone captured the moment a Russian flanker, Su-35, did a quick pop-up launch, an R-77, and a Ukrainian plane. The Ukrainian jet evaded the missile, coming from low altitude to try to ambush targets is well-known practice. I thought this was interesting only because I used to do this as red air.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have this, or worse, you're blue air and somebody does it to you. The ambush cap at low altitude, looking up, waiting for your buddies to show up, and then you pop up, shoot them, and then go back to low altitude. What's interesting in this video is he misses and doesn't follow up.
Probably not. Yeah. Might have something to do with their tactics. Don't risk it. Just shoot.
That's a good point.
Shoot, come back later. You're right, man. I can't tell you how many times. Well, every time I went out and did LFE out at Fallon, it's like as Blue Air, I knew, okay, behind each one of these peaks I'm going to cross, probably an F5 down there, just waiting to come up and get us. And a lot of times that was the case, but it teaches you a valuable lesson. I mean, fighter jets can hide behind things, not like people can, right? So, it's cool footage, man. That drone, like I said, it's amazing how that thing can track. And it, like I said, it looks like it's ranging towards the flanker.
I wonder if the drone operator is in communications with the Ukrainian jet simultaneously, because it talks about they managed to evade. I wonder if they're doing
how they know,
like, tactics together.
Yeah.
Right. Like, because that would be even more interesting to me, is if you've got a drone that's watching the ambush cap happen, and then the Viper rolls in and picks him off, because that's better than GCI.
Well, kind of like we did in training, they may be known areas where Russian flankers hang out to execute pop-up attacks. So hey, let's throw a drone out there. They won't detect it with a camera, and that way we'll know and have tipper. That's a good point, man. That's it's literally you're throwing a drone scout out there.
This war, I mean, I hate it. It's dragged on way too long. Every time they've promised peace talks and that we were going to end it, never happens. But this drone this war has had so many fascinating new tactics. The Ukrainians are developing things that are like, wow, that, I mean, Look at the stuff they're doing with drones is just phenomenal.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, imagine if that drone had been armed. You could have fixed the problem.
That's right. That's right. If you'd have put an AMRAAM on that drone, correct, the flanker, we would have had great footage of the flanker getting smoked, right? So,
yeah,
dude, I don't know. It's wild.
Yeah, wow, cool. It just reminded me of that and DCS, because I think anybody who plays DCS knows that this stuff happens.
Operator Drewski had a pretty long series where he was doing exactly that, I think, with that airplane.
Yeah. And also in scary news, this is not good, Gonky. So last week, Barksdale Air Force Base had, well, not last week, now the 9th, but they had multiple drones entered its airspace the week of March 9th. It says officials at Barksdale confirmed Friday, March 20th, that multiple unauthorized drones entered the base's airspace the week of March 9th. They detected multiple drones. Flying a drone over military installations is not just a safety issue, but it's a criminal offense. We're working closely with federal law enforcement. Security of our installation, safety of our people are top priorities. We will continue to vigilantly monitor our airspace. Now, Gonky, we talked about this back in
a while ago.
Well, back in the fall, where the New Jersey drones and all that stuff. This is different, because this is a nuclear base. These are bombers. This is a big deal. Like, this is a critical base to have. It's not just nuclear, but B-52s, Cyber Command, all the stuff that's there. If you recall, we covered Operation Spiderweb back in last year in Ukraine, where they snuck into hostile territory, the Ukrainians did, with trucks. And then one day, trucks open up, drones, and it took them like over a year or more to set this up.
Yeah, it's wild.
And they took out Russian bombers, they took out Russian fighters, bases, like all kinds of stuff with these fiber optic drones. Fiber optic drones means you can't jam them because they're connected. We are at war right now with a country that has a very good drone program. And our southern border is and has always been very porous. This is a threat, dude. This is a big deal.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I mean, yeah, I mean, 100%. I'm actually surprised that, I'm surprised we've been able to defend against it as good as we have been.
Yeah.
But sadly, I won't be surprised to see more of it, because as drone technology gets better, I just don't see a way. I mean, how do you defend Barksdale from something like this? Right.
Nets. That's what they did at Langley. They did the drone nets and
nets. But I mean,
drone shotguns but I mean, the problem is Russia is a war-footed country with extreme measures, and they still did it. We are open. You can go drive wherever you want. I mean, you can go park your drone, your drone caravan underneath any final for any major airport. I mean, it's a huge threat.
Yeah, dude. I mean, there's drones everywhere here. I mean, I go ride my dirt bike at the track, and there's a half a dozen drones buzzing around, and it's, hey, follow that guy, and it just goes. It's wild, dude. The drone stuff's amazing. Like you said, the stuff that the Ukrainians did last fall or last year, and given how much tighter security is in Russia, like, it does beg the question, like, I mean, we're pretty free here in America. It's like, how, I mean, the intel is going to have to be really good, and the borders are going to have to be tight. I mean, you have to know who's in your country. It's scary.
Those who will give up a little bit.
Dude.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Scary stuff.
Yeah.
HD Kraut, congrats on 100,000. This is to go towards Doug since you've docked his pay.
Haha.
Remember what we were talking about before the show, Doug, about how they're all mad at me for bullying you?
Yeah, it's really pretty funny.
Doug's up to $20.
Yep. All right, we start the bidding at $20.
Bidding at $20. $20. We have 25.
I've been known to bully people in Mover's name.
Thanks, CC Rider, 66 CC Rider, $100 for the hundo, 100,000 subs.
Wow, thank you.
Dude, you've got a Ferrari and
C5. Is it Z06?
No, that's
I almost want to say it's
that's another Ferrari. I'm sorry.
That's a Ferrari. Disrespect. Is that a Urus or a Mach-E?
I'm not convinced it's not an Aston Martin.
Oh, either way, dude, you could give us $1 per subscribers. I mean, I'm just saying.
What Mover's trying to say is thank you very much for your generosity, sir. That's what he's trying to say. Gosh, I feel like I'm talking for one of my kids right now, Mover. I can't take you anywhere, man.
This is just Mover projecting because people always believe that he could do the same.
Yeah,
it says on the internet that you're a multimillionaire.
Yeah, dude. Have you ever Googled yourself, so to speak?
No.
If you Google me, my net worth is like 5 million. I wish. I really, if half the things about me were true, I'd be a much happier person.
Yeah.
Robert says, congrats on 100K. Thanks, Robert.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Our Wrench says, thank you, fellas. Love the show. Usually can't watch live. I look forward to it every week, even the ones you dread doing. Maybe see another 100,000 subs. Go Dodgers and OKC Thunder 2026.
Thank you.
Thomas says, turn off the helmet cam. I got a spicy cheese here. All right. Thank you. Dr. Narwhal says, congrats to Luna and supporting cast at 100,000. Also, sorry if my last comment was too spicy. I forget I need to keep it kid friendly for Alec. Alec is the one kid that watches.
Yes.
So we have to keep it cool for him.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Holy shit.
Dude,
we are in over our heads, gentlemen.
See, Gonky, it works, dude. You got to keep goading him, man. You can't
do 200.
$2 per subscriber. I mean, come on.
How come that one can't be my fan?
Again, what Mover means to say is thank you very much for your generosity, sir.
Yes, absolutely. No, seriously, we don't deserve this. Thank you.
Jeez.
What they're probably doing, Gonky, is they're doing this. We put it up on screen and they go get the charge back.
They do. Yeah, it costs us money.
Refund.
It costs us money for that.
Yeah, we get the credit card fees. Spider says, put up the lasers, bring down the drones. Yeah. And hope you're fast enough to react. Because if you remember Operation Spiderweb, that was fast.
Yeah. They're close when they launch. Yeah.
At Soft Cot says, we have let in so many of the kids of the IRGC in here. Yes, a very bad situation. I've written books about this.
Stay safe, man. Stay safe out there.
What's your question?
You ever Google yourself, so to speak?
You don't Google yourself? What's your question?
I'm afraid, dude. I just don't do it.
I tried Googling you, so to speak.
Yeah.
Nothing comes up.
Because I'm that broke. It's like who? It literally, it's a question mark. Who? See, at least you are somebody, Mover.
Did you Google Gonky or did you Google his real name?
Dude, ever since that, it's 5.17 million.
That's how much I'm worth?
No, how much I'm worth right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's gone up since 2022. It was 3 million back in 2022. Now it's up to 5.17. Yeah.
I don't know. Raise. I mean,
where's the money going though? That's what I'd like to know.
You should have an Aston Martin or two.
It's not called Austin Martin. That's the first thing. You got to get the name right.
Bro, I drive a 20-something-year-old pickup truck, dude. That's all I know.
I think Gonky's of the opinion that it's never going to matter.
That's right. That's right. Of course.
All right. Back to work.
Yes.
The F-47 is delayed until the 2030s. According to top lawmakers, the 6th-gen F-47 and the Navy F/A-XX fighter, which they'll never announce for the love of all, won't be available until the mid-2030s, a leading congressman said March 17th, which will require the services to keep older jets flying in the interim. The question then becomes, what do we do in the meantime? Rep. Rob Whitman from Virginia said, he's the chair of the House Armed Services Committee, Tactical Air and Land Forces Subcommittee. We have to maintain a fleet of F-18s and Raptors, and that's the only way we create a bridge to the 6th-gen aircraft. The Boeing-made F-47 will have to replace the 185 F-22 sometimes the next decade. It's expected to have stealth capabilities, 1,000-mile radius, Mach 2, and the ability to fly alongside the drones known as a collaborative combat aircraft. It's an ambitious goal to have it flying at 2028 is what the Air Force wants. But that would only be 3 years after March 2025, which was a year ago. So they got 2 years left. But the first flight goal remains unchanged, and we need to bring the government back into engineering. We'd outsourced our engineering so long, and being able to do that, have actual government reference architecture in partnership with the industry allows us to have more continuous competition, avoiding vendor lock. But at the same time, we now have a contract which we can evolve. Yeah, we're going to use it as a foundation, the architecture for the CCA and F-47. So he's basically saying, nowhere in that article did he actually say what the title was, though. Right? Mm-hmm. He's just saying we gotta have a plan. Did anybody ever believe that it wasn't going to be the 2030s? Like, I would be surprised if it is the 2030s.
Yes, if in a year from now it's like could slide to 2040s, I would think there's some honesty.
Mm-hmm.
Finally.
Yeah. There's the T7 and the F-47.
That's right. Exactly, man. I'm not surprised, man. I mean, and you kind of, you jokingly, the FAXX, I mean, that thing hasn't been announced yet. I mean, that thing is...
They tried to defund it. They tried to refund it. They tried to defund it. Like, make up your mind.
That thing is like years and years. Like, we've talked about it before, man. The procurement process for weapons, especially fighter aircraft in the United States, is something needs to change. I mean, we talk about it quite a bit on the show as well. China just pumping out new designs, and I get it. Maybe we're doing the same thing, but it's much more secret. But I think it's crazy. I mean, the F-35, dude, that airplane is not fully mature, and there just seems to be this huge push to go, well, we need 6th gen. When I would argue the 5th gen stuff is not. We haven't reached the limits of those capabilities. Maybe we have, but I don't see it because we're still using and upgrading and advancing 4th gen assets, right? So
it's trickle down, right? 5th gen,
right.
feeds 4th gen, I would like somebody to define for me 6th gen. Is it those engines? Is it the new engines that are so fancy? Is it being able to be collaborative with drones? Is it some other level of stealth that now includes something else?
It's actually invisible.
Actually invisible? Is it a cloak? Yeah. People will think we're serious, Gonky. We're just joking. But I love the idea. It's very ambitious that we could have had it in the 2030s, but I don't think anybody who's been around at any length of time thinks that that's possible, because there's so much red tape that they have to get through, even on their best days. And there's so many, it's like managing requirements. And I love the quote about, we need to get the government back in engineering. Nowhere in the history of the world has the government made something better, right? You might want to get the grift out of engineering, get the accountants out of engineering. You might want to get the marketing team out of engineering, but the engineers need to stay in engineering, and the government needs to stay far away from everything. Just call us when it's done.
Yeah. What'd Reagan say? We're the government. We're here to help. That's like the worst thing that you could ever hear.
No. I mean, if you want it done in 2030s, adding the government will not fix your problem.
No.
But
I mean, operate like Boeing used to, right? Let the engineers design excellent airplanes. And like you said, keep the bean counters out, keep the red tape out, the logistics, give the engineers a task, a set of requirements, and they will design that airplane. Just got to, as hands off as you can be. I just, I don't know. I think, man, the 6th gen, most of the 6th gen nerd stuff is going to be just that nerd stuff. It's going to be all the beeps and squeaks underneath the skin. Yes, the airplane will be.
Well, there's nothing else they can do. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. We've reached. We've pushed the flying machine envelope pretty far. Yes, there can be better engines, refined flight controls and stuff, but I think that's why 4th gen aircraft are still very relevant today, is because as a flying machine, they're extremely high performance. It's the stuff under the skin that really counts in a high threat environment today. And that's where the newer stuff, F-35, because we've talked about, right? The F-35 gets its face caved in BFM, when it's fighting F-16s and, some 4th gen airplanes. But you put the airplanes in a high threat environment, probably want to be in Fat Amy.
Yeah, and it's durable.
Apparently it's durable, yes. So
apparently it's durable.
I mean, when you've got all that girth around you,
all the blubber,
it keeps you warm and safe, Mover.
Yeah.
As a pilot, you're
cocooned like a little baby. You're in the womb.
In the womb.
Oh, jeez.
It's a whale.
So deep in. Derek Schmidt, WPG says, you mean Gonky isn't his real name?
It's just what I go by.
B Shoke says, the Austin Martin from Timo. This is great value. Teat seeking missile. So 47 is developmentally delayed. That's messed up. All right, Gonky. This one's for you, bud. Because you're the reason this exists. This post has gone viral for whatever reason, but it's actually pretty old. Eye-opening reality, a lesson for African leaders. Former Malaysian Prime Minister, how do you say that? Mahathir?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Mohammed says, in 2004, Malaysia purchased 8 FA-18 Hornet fighters from the United States, which were among the most advanced aircraft at the time. The deal was $640 million. After receiving this aircraft, Malaysia formed a team of experts and engineers to conduct a detailed study of their features and combat capabilities. They discovered the aircraft was transmitting every flight's information to the United States military base, such as altitude, airspeed, location, route, mission details, the pilot's communication with the ground control room. The room, you say. Not only that, but the aircraft's operating system and autopilot feature could also be controlled from the U.S. base. This means that if a U.S. officer on the ground simply presses a button, the aircraft's route can be changed, it can be crashed, or even target of its attack can be altered. When Malaysia tried to modify the aircraft's operating system, the United States and manufacturer McDonnell Douglas strongly objected. They even threatened to stop supplying parts and maintenance and impose restrictions. Even when Malaysia was requested specific parts to activate certain capabilities of the aircraft, the company rejected that as well. Ultimately, Malaysia realized that it had bought aircraft that could not be used in actual combat without U.S. approval. The issue is not limited to Malaysia alone. Many Arab and Muslim countries face the reality. The lesson is clear. Until a nation develops its own defense technology, it will remain dependent on others. TV interview on Al Jazeera with Mahathir Mohammed, and there is Gonky in the F-18, and it's got 1.1 million views. So this is very popular, very factual. Gonky, please explain to us why this is right.
It's not right. That guy's an idiot. We've talked about it a little bit before, but that part of the article is true. It does record all parameters, right? Altitude, airspeed, where it's at, because it has GPS. It records all that stuff.
Ask our buddy that had to do the unrestricted climb and end up in the CNAB. But
correct.
Anyway.
Yeah. So that part of the statement is true. Yes, it records everything, and you can take that data and use it as you see fit. What is that data used for? A lot of times it's used for maintenance, right? Maintenance and logging time on the engines there, all that stuff, right? So it's so funny. So a guy in the US could press a button and take control of an airplane literally halfway around the world. That's crazy. I would ask the question, I imagine we sold the Kuwaitis the same thing. So, when the CAF pilot started smoking eagles, why didn't they just press the button and stop him? Right?
It's a false flag. Maybe he made the pilot smoke the eagles.
Maybe he did. Maybe. Yes. Yeah. No, it's insane, dude. The Malaysian Hornets, they're their Hornets.
You flew them. So just so people know,
yes,
you flew Malaysian Hornets for the contractor, not McDonnell Douglas, because they didn't exist at this time.
That's right. I flew Malaysian Hornets with the Malaysian Air Force And
did they buy Hornets from McDonnell Douglas, or they were Boeing by then?
McDonnell Douglas, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember, to be honest.
Okay.
I think McDonnell Douglas still exists. They just go by Boeing. But anyways, those airplanes were 100% Malaysians. They didn't like the radios. They just took the radios out, put their own radios in it. It had their own version of data link in it, right? I mean, they don't have to ask. They're their airplanes. In fact, the Malaysian guys told me, they said the thing they liked most about dealing with the US, because they had A4s, F5s, the Hornet, and the Hawk 2, which is from the British. But they said, when we buy an airplane from the US, when it flies in here, these are their words exactly, when it flies here and lands, we can put weapons on it and fuel and take it to war immediately. It's a complete package, done deal. About as clean as you can make it. And they said, when we buy stuff from Russia, they bought Su-30s and MiG-29s. It's piecemeal. Okay, here's your MiGs. This is how you take off and land. See you later. Bye-bye. Right. With the Hornet, they got actual military training from military Hornet guys at the time. And part of the sale was a military instructor to stay and keep them. Right. So we not only taught them how to take off and land, we taught them how to fight with the airplane. And we taught them based on the weapons that they purchased from us. Right. So it's insane, man. Politics is pretty heavy in Malaysia. And, there's a faction that don't like the West. And this is what you get. When I first got there, they actually did have actual combat action. Lahat Datu, I think is what it was. I can't remember the operation, but they were basically taking out bad guys on the ground, and the two airplanes they took to do it was the Hornet and the Hawk. It's jungle warfare, right? So I mean, like, one of the questions the guys were asking was like, hey, how do you guys illuminate the jungle at night? I'm like, I'm a desert fighter, dude. I've been fighting in the desert. That's a great question. Well,
Lu 2.
Yeah, so they were dropping Lu 2 and laser guided bombs, and they did some good work. But those are the two airplanes they took. And that's why. It's because they're ready to go. So basically everything in that post is 100% garbage. That guy's an idiot. Sorry. Not true. They're their airplanes, man. They can do what they want.
Well, I don't have a dog in this fight, but my observations for this post. One, it is true that a military export version is often different than the U.S. version. That's standard. It's been like that forever. Export control laws, ITAR, all that stuff. I mean, would you expect? The Russians don't give away their best stuff. They have export versions of everything. I mean, that's just how it works. We don't give away our best stuff. We keep it for us, just in case. The second piece to this, the kill switch and all that stuff. The reason they're telling you we're not going to support you if you start modding it is just like if you start modding your car. Because if you break it, you buy it. Like, we're not going to warranty you, digging into the control unit and trying to reprogram or whatever it is you're doing, and you break it. Well, we're not going to spend the money to fix it and cover that if you're off doing that. That's the other piece too. And there is a little bit of exploitation. They don't want you exploiting it. They want you to fly it as you were given that, because that's part of it. That's part of the deal. They don't want you exploiting it and giving it to the Russians. They don't want you. Now, sometimes that happens, but to the max extent possible, we don't want you doing that. So a lot of this kill switch is not a button. It's we're going to stop supporting you with parts and other stuff. But the way to avoid that is to play nicely. Buy the aircraft, adhere to the contract, and everybody's happy. It's easy. You're muted.
There was another American out there as well who was on the maintenance side, and that was his job, was getting parts for him and stuff. So the whole time I was there, the cooperation was really good. I know I was very involved with trying to get parts that they needed. And, you know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that we did everything perfect, but they also, you know, there was hurdles to get through when you're dealing with 12 time zones. And quite honestly, you know, the Legacy Hornet had been out of production for a while. So it got harder and harder to get parts. And dude, the Malaysians operate the airplane differently than we do. So, you know, sometimes there was, you know, there's some splaining to do. So, but yeah, the idea of we can just turn on and off, that's not the case, man.
Remotely.
Yeah, remotely. That's insane. Yeah, that's not the case. Those airplanes, the Malaysian Hornets were probably my favorite. I like the A+, the A+ single seats that we had, but if I had to have a 2-seat family model, dude, the Malaysian Hornet was really
for your
good.
incentive rider.
They were lightweight, big motors, and they had the good mech radar. I mean, they're really good jet, man, for what it is.
Yeah, but you get to fly around with your Make-A-Wish incentive rider. Awesome.
You know what? Hey, here's I needed a Wizzo in Malaysia because, dude, I
don't know where anything is.
I didn't speak correct. I didn't speak the speak as well as they did.
It's like your own built-in translator.
100%.
It's like ChatGPT.
No, they were great.
Thanks, Derek. Appreciate you, man. If you said something, Doug will say something. Arrow Wrench says, even with all the recording, you can still draw a certain male part in the sky with it.
You can't. It's true.
Wasn't that a growler?
It was.
Yeah. Dr. Fair, look at the puppy dog.
Yeah.
I hear any Walmart Universal remote would do it. It's that clipper, right? The flipper, whatever thing that you always see advertised. All right, Gonky. Mental health minute time. We haven't done one of these in a while, and I know we're going long, but we're going to do a mental health minute because we haven't done one before. Okay?
Okay. Can I say no?
Yes.
No.
You can. Like, I'm going to put Doug in the corner here. How do I do that? Right here. Nope. All right.
Hit it.
Mental health minute. Spring cleaning your life. I thought about this, and maybe this is just a rant. I don't know. I did some spring. Dude, I don't ever spring clean. Like, this is, it had accumulated. I've lived in this house since 2012, so 14 years. And it started with a rearranging furniture in the room. That's not a euphemism for anything. I literally moved my bed around, which Luna didn't like because she didn't like change. And then I wanted to move some stuff. And I'm like, God, this closet's full, and I need to go through it. And I didn't want to because it's most of my stuff that I've dragged around with me since probably pilot training. In fact, I did find some old pilot training stuff. And I was going through it and threw away so much stuff that I've run out of dumpsters. I had to borrow my neighbors and still didn't have enough room. But it felt good after. But during, you know, you're going through and like, do I need this? Do I need this in my life? Is this something that I will one day want or one day need? And, you know, it's like, if not, if I can't sell it for any, you know, reasonable amount where I hate dealing with people. So it'd have to be enough to make it worth trying not to get shanked in Facebook Marketplace. But also, is it going to be useful in my life? And can I organize it correctly? And after the first night, I had 2 trash cans full. And I walked back to the trash can after my walk with Luna that night. And I was like looking at it going, did I make sure I didn't accidentally throw anything away? You know, I wanted to start dumpster diving. You know, you get that itch that you got to do it. And I realized throughout this whole process that it's kind of a metaphor, because especially for me right now, because I started the year, as many know, one of the first things I did this year was I quit my airline job. I left American Airlines because it wasn't working for me. And it was something that I'd held on to for 10 years and had been holding on to that seniority number, even though it wasn't what I wanted or wasn't doing anything for me. And as this year progresses, there are other things institutionally, bureaucratically, that will probably go away as well, whether by my own choice or by circumstances or by it's just not fitting me anymore and it's time to move on. And I think for me, the lesson here is that sometimes you have to take that time to step back and assess whether things are working for you, and whether you're giving the value and getting the value that you thought. And if not, then don't hold on to it, because it's not doing any good. Make room for new stuff, make room for other stuff. And if you do accidentally throw something away that's important, as long as it's not sentimental, maybe it's just some wires or something, you can always buy it on Amazon tomorrow and it'll be there in like 2 days. Doug and I figured this out. But in general, we live in a world where other opportunities will exist. And if you do make that mistake, you'll just keep rolling and make your own path. Don't be afraid to rearrange the deck chairs. Now, you might be on the Titanic, but still do it anyway. Gonky, what are your thoughts?
Man, you put it very well, Mover. It's tough to add. I'm probably worse than you, man. There's some stuff I'm really good about just ditching. There's other things, like I could walk in my garage right now and be like, man, I got a lot of stuff here I could throw out. But the hoarder in me is like, I'll need that one day, right? For sure, kind of thing. Yeah, it's crazy. When we lived in Malaysia, our place was 900 square feet, and before we left, we literally, Boeing, who I worked for, gave us an option. They're like, we'll give you like 6 months worth of money to store all your crap, where you can sell everything, and here's money for your loss. And we're like, we'll take the money and sell everything. So for a couple of years, we didn't have a lot. And that was actually a good experiment, because it actually, things weigh you down. It's kind of weird. We feel a little bit too, like, and we, spend like a month in the RV, right, with the kids. You can't take much. There's not a lot of room. And obviously we're very mobile. So, yeah, man, I think cleaning out gets rid of the old, makes way for the new, which is good if you're trying to make yourself better, trying to advance yourself. I think a lot of, another thing I think about with spring cleaning your life is, a lot of times I think also you got to kind of wrap things that have been bothering you for a long time. Right. And that's where, as a Christian, forgiveness is a big thing. And I think I have learned as I've gotten older and, stronger in my faith to be able to forgive things that have happened to me, which cleans it out of my life, gets it behind me. And then I can move on and focus on, the things that are ahead of me, new problems in life, right? Like kids, things that, I've never had to deal with in the past. So I think that's a big part of it too. I've seen a lot of people holding a lot of things in that have happened in the past, even in my own family, where I'm like, man, they just need to forgive and move on. And I think you could wrap that up into the metaphor of, spring cleaning your life is, you got to leave the past in the past and focus on the future if you want your future to be better or even different. So, Doug, what do you got?
Move out of the corner.
I was busy typing up notes. I think that, I've enjoyed my time on the show, and I wish you guys great success. And if I'm one of the things that has to be cut, sorry, that was a joke on comment. We went through this recently in my house because I've retasked one of the kids' former bedrooms to my own hobbies, since the kids don't live here anymore. And I had to invite him back to clean out his room. And so that I could take over. And it was interesting to kind of go through that with him, because it was kind of putting closure on a transition, which I think is part of what you said too, Gonky, that sometimes this can be a way of putting closure on a phase of your life and not needing that stuff anymore. JD's gonna come through with a quote, because there's a really good one that I can't think of right now. I can't remember if it was Shakespeare or some poet, but putting aside the things of your youth, etc. It's part of life.
All right. Well, good talk.
It's a good one, Mover.
Thanks, man. I tried. Tic Tac's got my back. Says I've managed to stay out of the news for another week. Excellent. My plans remained uninterrupted.
Thanks, man.
Dr. Ferris says, Mover, just a thought. Make up for AA income by selling beef, kind of like independent farmers, might be a little bit more chopped up. Thoughts? I couldn't, because I'd be friends with the cows.
Yeah, dude, Mover.
I've never.
He is such a soft touch with animals.
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I would be friends with the cows.
I get yelled at for shooting armadillos.
I know. I'll send Mover pictures of rats I've smoked with.
Y'all are both sociopaths, okay?
He's like,
in order to be a sociopath, I'd have to be an armadillo.
Oh my God.
Have you seen what a hungry rat will do? Have you read the book 1984? They're vicious creatures, man.
Anyway, you're gonna make me mad. You're gonna negatively affect my calm.
Yeah. Clean it out of your life, Mover.
Not giving him joy, Gonky.
I know.
Yeah, this is not bringing joy. Yeah, Luna's in here is like, it's bedtime, homie. That's a show. We did it.
Thanks, everybody. Again, for 100,000 subs. That's awesome. And then sticking with us tonight. Cool. It's awesome.
And thank you, 66cc Rider.
All right.
And your Austin Martin.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. But especially that dude, because we
yes.
And now I'm doing too much. God, Gonky, make up your mind.
I apologize for Mover insulting you, sir.
I'm saying is I'm happy with him. I like him.
I know.
$200 is $200, dude.
Dr. Ferris says, talking about you smoking cattle with 20. I've repented for my sins. I know the reference. I try not to think about things that happened in my youth.
Man, but Mover will crush a cheeseburger. No problem. Poor cow.
Yeah. A steak.
Dude, no problems. Exactly.
Cheese fries aren't made from cows.
No, they're not. But the burger you chase it with is.
Listen, that's why I need to be at the end stage of production, not the beginning.
Cows are subjugated to produce cheese.
Whatever. Whatever. What do you like? Discovery Channel? Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway.
Same place, same time next week.
I hope so. We'll see what happens with these episodes.
Dude, I know.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
See ya. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.